that he doesn't know how to answer. Okay? And how does he answer these? I don't know. I don't know. But I know that he's not going to be able to answer them. Okay? And if he can't answer them, the market's not going to like it. It's not going to like it. Okay? Because what's the answer? There's no answer. Is there going to be a mid-meeting hike? There's no answer. The answer is what Sam would say is, I don't know, anything is possible. Okay? But that's not what's going on, right? That's not what's going on. So that's when then we see. Hold on. Just looking at one more thing here. Okay. And that's what we know. Okay. Boeing, pretty good numbers. It's up. It's into the gap. Does it go? It's possible. It's into the gap, so it's starting to move. If it's into the gap, then it can start moving. Okay. How far does it go? Don't know. Don't know. So then we see, but that's helping the Dow. So all these things, Microsoft is helping the Dow. At Google not really doing nothing. Google really not doing nothing. So then we see, and everything else. That's all I know. That's what I know. Okay. Hold on. Okay. So that's what we know. These people, Jesus. Okay. Okay, one more. Hold on a second here. Okay. So let's get started here. Let's start the recording. Okay, good morning, everybody. 7:27. Stocks go up, stocks go down, then we see. How far do we fall? We could fall a long way. If he really says there can be a mid-meeting hike. Okay, Google came out and said revenue is worse. Everything is worse. And it went higher. Isn't that interesting? They said next quarter is going to be worse. Next quarter is going to be worse. And it went higher. Isn't that interesting? So it's kind of funny. That that happened. Interesting. Okay? Stocks go up, stocks go down, then we see. SPX, 3972 becomes a huge number. 3972 becomes a huge number. Okay? So just wait for that one. 3972. If it pops up. Also a place. So last time he talked, he came out and he said, he came out and said, we're not going to do a 75 hike. Then he ended up doing a 75 hike, right? He ended up doing a 75 hike. Isn't that interesting? But we knew that. We knew that he would do something like that. Hold on. Okay. So does he answer the same question the same way? If they ask him the question, is it possible you do another hike, a meeting after? Not the meeting after, a mid-meeting, because they don't meet again for 2 months. If he says no, the market will like that, but they won't believe him. If he says yes, then do we crater? That's very possible. Okay? Very, very interesting. Then we see. Okay? So know that question, be ready for that question. The answer to that question can move the market a long way when during the thing. Okay? SPX downside 3,900, got to 3,913 is a number, somewhere in there. Texas Instruments was up, so chips are a little bit better. Very very interesting. So chips are definitely a little bit better, and then we see how that plays out. Okay. NVIDIA, 172, 179. Don't know when the chip vote is coming. Is it coming pretty soon? Have to see how that plays out. Okay. ASML up a little bit. It's holding strong. That one looks a little bit stronger. Okay. You got 542, 551 on that one. Lam Research held okay. Didn't completely collapse. The chips are actually holding in. They're not cratering. Texas Sensor and stuff, they're holding in. So that means it's okay. Then we see. Right? Hold on a second here. Okay. Just verifying some stuff as we get going here. Okay. Avago. In no man's land. It's in no man's land. It's down 100. It's not down to 200. And then how far do we go? Don't know. Okay? So keep an eye on that. Okay? CrowdStrike. 161, 152. Okay? Pan W. Back up through 491, back down. Under 450. Huge dive if it goes under 450. Okay? Now, if they believe cloud is bad and it's really slowing down, which it is, do all these collapse? Very possible. So just keep an eye on that. Okay? Zscaler. That's the one that started yesterday. They came out yesterday and they said, they didn't come out, but an analyst came out and said they're losing growth. Okay? So see how that plays out and goes lower. Okay, MDB. 261, huge number if it dives. Okay? UNH got back over 533 and just stopped. Remember, if the market goes up, UNH goes down. They're a counter market. Okay? Very interesting counter market. Then we see. Okay? Counter market, then we see. Okay, let's go to Microsoft. This thing was at 243 right after the earnings came out. Think about what the CEO or CFO said, whoever it was. He comes out and he says, we're not seeing any deals break up. Let me tell you. So I was at Texas Instruments and we negotiated some of this stuff with Gartner and all these other people, right? So what happens is, first they come out and they start cutting some costs. They tell the managers to cut costs. Okay, so you cut some costs. Okay, then they go and they announce a layoff, and then they put out a rumor of their packages. So everybody starts asking for packages. Do I get 2 weeks? Do I get 2 weeks for every year? 6 months? Whatever, right? Then they do the layoffs. Now they've done the layoffs. They've taken everybody's PC and all this stuff, and they have their licenses, right? And then they say, okay, let's renegotiate with Microsoft and everybody else. See, that's a cycle that happens. It happens after. It doesn't happen before. So the layoffs haven't come. Once the layoffs come, then the cycle will change. Okay? And it'll get worse. It'll get worse. Right? Interesting. Isn't that interesting? Okay? So keep an eye on that. So that's what's going on. That's what's going on there. Okay? And so when the cycle changes, does this really crater right back down? Possible. Google, the ads are only average at best. Right? So that's not so good, right? Average at best. Hold on. Having some problems here as I walk around. Okay. Google. The number on YouTube was average at best. The growth was not as good. Snow. That means if all these places are having less growth, is Snow going to have less growth? 1,000 PE less growth? Let's see. 129, 122. But once again, we're on both sides here. We played this as a pairs trade. If you did it as a pairs trade, you now went to $9 yesterday from $4. You could have sold it, covered everything, and made 50 cents, and then held the Snow for it to go back up. Worked both ways. Or you could have got out and made a couple points, right? Got out and made a couple points. That's trading. That's how you trade. This is what you do. This is what you do. Okay? NOW, earnings today. How far does he take it down? This is interesting because he didn't guide down. He just said huge headwinds. But he may guide for next quarter. Okay? You're still going to be up a little bit on there. You'll probably be up $2. Manage your account. Visa, watch this one. Visa popped on the earnings, then dropped. If Visa drops heavy, that means they're worried about spending. Now, Visa is a two-way thing, because so people don't talk about this, but you got to understand this. What's the number one spend on credit cards? Okay, quiz. The number one spend on credit cards. Okay, very simple. It's gas. People spend on gas. So if you used to put in $60 and now you put in $100, you've spent $40 more on your credit card. So credit card, as gas goes up, they don't see, now if they're breaking out for gas, they see it, but they don't see, they say, oh, consumer spending is great. It's still good. No, it's not so good. Okay, so just know that. If Visa pops 209, it's in a world of hurt. Okay? So interesting. Costco, all about 509, and the Fed, let's see what happens, how faster they slow it down. Tesla can't seem to get through 822 now, so it looks very weak. Coin 52 and 48. 48 is a huge number. If it breaks 48, it goes to 45. And that's about it. ENPH, people asking about ENPH. This is running. This is at 236. It's up 20. It looks like 241, 247. ENPH, the last year, every pop is sold within 2 hours. It holds for 2 hours, and then it's sold. So if it gets up to about 240, does it go right back down to 230? Huge PE. So keep an eye on that. 10B, lowered guidance. Trading down for now. Another cyber name. Thank you. Biden set to talk with Xi on Thursday. Who knows? You know, I don't know. Does somebody know when Pelosi is supposed to go to Taiwan? Have no idea when that's happening. There's all kinds of threats out there, and they don't no idea what's real. Okay? No idea what's real. Then we see. Shop missed again. Think about it. Shop back lower again. It's at 29. This isn't going to 21 and then going to go to 20. She's going to get destroyed on Shop again. She's buying losers. Who buys a stock? Think about this. And here's the people. This is why people lose money. Who buys a stock that goes from 1,700 to 400 in 3 months, and then it starts heading down again, and they're like, "Oh my God, this is a good bounce place." What about Peloton? Peloton went from 170 to 100, and I literally got 500 messages saying, "Sam, you're an asshole." Blah, 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 blah. Peloton is great. They have a great infrastructure. I said it's going to 10. I said, you're going to get wiped. I respond to all of them. You're going to get wiped, and I'm glad you're going to get wiped. Please call your mom now. Get a place in the basement. Okay? Think about this. Very interesting. And then the Peloton goes to 50. Same people, it's so good, it's even better by. It's going to 10. You're going to get wiped. And they all get wiped. Okay? They all get wiped. That's Shop. You can't butcher a stock from $1,700 to $300. That means you don't know shit and you're a loser. They need to wipe out everybody on the board and the CEO and everybody, or that stock's going to $10. Very simple to me. She's going to get destroyed. Everybody have a great trading day. See you in chat.